गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं. We are in Bhagavatam Canto 10 and chapter 87 and verse number 26, and we are looking at a question which was asked by Parikshit ji to Shukdev ji Maharaj, that how come whether you take the Lord or you take the Paramatma or you take Brahman, all are synonyms and they are beyond the speech and the mind, and yet the scriptures are talking about that which is beyond their scope. This question was asked, and the teacher, rather than saying, I'll tell you the most unique answer, this has come out of my own meditation, this has come out of my own sadhana, it is revealed to me. No. He says, same question was asked by Narad Muni to Bhagavan. And there also Bhagavan doesn't say, even though he is the all that there is, he doesn't say, now I'll give you the answer, which nobody has given ever. He says that same question, he tells Narad Muni, the same question was asked by the Sanat Kumaras to each other. And Sanandana became the teacher and other three became the students. And they say maximum time we are talking to ourselves. Who are these Sanat Kumaras? They are Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankar only. And you are always talking to yourself. Some commentary is going on. So best is commentary of the scriptures is going on. Such questions, your mind will only ask the question. Your mind will only ask the doubt. And your mind will only answer the question, isn't it? When your self-doubt is going on, should I go, should I not go, should I eat, should I not eat, should I read this book or should I go to sleep? These are questions only. You are only answering. So the quality of dialogue that is going on in our head should be mirror of the scriptures. The best type of thoughts that you can have in your mind, whether you are interacting with the world or your mind is speaking to itself, should be the words of the scriptures or the leelas of the Lord. This is the best way. See how beautiful it is. And with this, we saw last week that how various people from different philosophies, they consider who have different standpoints, and the Vaisheshikas, Naiyayikas, Sankhyas and Mimamsakas, all of them have different standpoints. The Vaisheshikas They say that the soul did not exist before and it will not exist afterwards. So it is only an evolution of matter which has brought about life. So for them, life is a product of matter. They don't, and the soul. And then when who are these type of people who believe like this? They are the scientists. They are looking for answers in the matter. They will never find it. They are Vaisheshikas. They have taken specificity to be real. Vishesh means specific. Vaisheshikas, those who take the specific to be real. And the second one was Nayayikas, that liberation is only possible after suffering of 21 kinds. And this is the most probably this is the nihilist philosophy. And then the Sankhyas believe that there is one soul per person. And the Mimamsakas believe that the fruit of actions to be real, and based on that alone, that the soul, which is made up of three gunas, is and which comes about due to ignorance, and the Mimamsaka says that this conditioning is not real. The soul, which is actually the essential self, you are calling it soul only on account of your attention on the conditionings. And in this way, the four different standpoints were given. Now we'll start with the 26th verse. Given 26. 26. तवै विभात्य सदा मनुजात् सभिभूषन्त्यशेषमिदमतयात्मविदः न हि विकृतिं त्यजन्ति कनकस्य तदात्मतया स्वकृतमनुप्रविष्टमिदमात्मतया वसितम् तव परितेषन्त्यखिलसत्त्वनिकेततया त उतपदाक्रमन्त्यविगणय्य शिरो निवृतेः परिवयसे पशूनिव विराचिभुवानपि तान् त्वयि कृतसहृदा खलु पुनस्ति न ये विमुखाः त्वमकरण स्वराडहिलकारकशक्तिधरस्तव चलो तव बलिमुद्वहन्ति समदन्त्यजया निमिषाः वर्षभुजोऽखिलक्षितिपतेरिव विश्वसृजो विदधति यत्र ते त्वधिकृता भवतश्चकिता स्थिरचरजातयस्युरजयोऽथ निमित्तयुजो विहर उदीक्षया यदि परस्य विमुक्तततः न हि परमस्य कश्चित् परो न परश्च भवेत् वियत इवापदस्य तव शून्यतुलं दधतः. Okay. All this objective verse, remember now, right now the dialogue is going on between, who is the speaker right now? Sanandan, and other Sanat Kumaras are listening. All this objective universe consisting of the three gunas, modes of Prakriti, which is a projection of the mind alone, including the jiva, which is referred to as the self, though unreal, appears as real because of its being superimposed on you. This is the Mimams.
That means the other three are wrong.
Wrong means incomplete. We will not say wrong. their vision is incomplete, their understanding is incomplete. See, Shankaracharya says it is illusion, it's mithya, isn't it? Jnaneshwar Maharaj says it is incomplete knowledge. So rather than get into an argument with them whether it is mithya or it is real, let's just call it incomplete knowledge, which is much, much more palatable to everyone. So incomplete because their convictions, their notions that they have about themselves is only limited. It's either based on body, or it's based on Panchatattva, it's based on coming and going, or it is based on one per body. That is where they are. So what is man? Man is what his convictions are. And why are we studying Bhagavatam? Why are these questions being asked? So that we can change our convictions. If convictions are created by way of thought, then we have to remove them also by way of thought only. There is no other way. And that's why we study scriptures. So that our standpoints change. World remains the same. Only our standpoint changes. So right now you see world as real. Some people see world as matter. Some see world as coming and going. But a master, a realized person sees the world as self. As self. A devotee will see the world as Bhagavan. So this statement is very simple. But what is the connotation? That it is Bhagavan. Do you know what Bhagavan means? In order to say that world is Bhagavan? That is there. So now we are trying to understand what is this Paramatma, what is this Bhagavan, what is this Brahman. Then automatically all the incomplete knowledge about the world, that will also disappear. So here it is clearly told that this objective universe, which is made up of the three gunas, it is a projection of the mind alone, and this projection includes the jiva. This projection includes the jiva. How do you know there is a jiva? You have to ask questions which you have not asked yourself. When I ask these questions, I also am searching for answers, don't worry. But it's clear. The moment the question comes, the answer is also there. Before I would have avoided it. Now I don't. If the question comes, answer should be there. So how do you recognize jiva? How do you know that the jiva is coming and going? See, in the I always appears, experience will appear with experienced. Experiencer, experienced, experiencing. Knower, known, knowing. Seer, seen, seeing. It is appearing with every thought, which we can't catch it right now. Is there anywhere else you can catch it, that it is coming and going? In these three sums? Waker, waking experience. So waker is coming and going, dreamer is coming and going, sleeper is coming and going. That is the expression of jiva. See? And who knows? That is not a jiva. Who knows that? I know that. Now don't take yourself to be the one who is coming and going. You are the permanent principle. थोड़ा सा चिंतन करने लगते हैं तो एकदम मजा आ जाता है सारा. हाँ. But this jiva appears real, being superimposed on you. So waker, dreamer, deep sleeper, they are superimposed on the self. Just like father, son, husband, they are superimposed on the man. The knowers of the self, however, recognize this entire universe, both subjective and objective. Now, when they use the word subjective here, what does it connote? Objective we can understand. What is subjective? The world within our mind. So this is the gross world is the objective world, subjective world is the inner world. Mana buddhi chitta ahankar. This game, which is this play of thoughts which is going on, that is our subjective world. To be real, because of it being a projection of their very self. Now see the take of Sanandan. This is very, very important point. The realized masters, they take the objective world and the subjective world as the self alone. Why? Why they take it as self? First you just said that it is superimposition. Now you are taking it as self. So who was told that it is a superimposition? To a seeker. But where is the realized person established in? In the self. And what are the scriptures leading your mind towards? That one without a second principle is that Bhagavan or that Paramatma or that Brahman. If he is one without a second, he is all that there is. He is the creator and the material out of which the whole universe as if has been created. Then can there be any thought? Can there be any emotion? Can there be any action? Can there be space, air, fire, water, earth? Can anything be other than the self? Can any wave have an independent existence apart from water? Not possible. Can any ornament have independent existence apart from gold? Not possible. Therefore, everything that you are made up of, what are you made up of? Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. What are you made up of? The 5 sheaths. What are you made up of? The panch pranas. What are you made up of? The pancha tattvas, space, air, fire, water, earth. What are you made up of? The 5 organs of perception. You are made up of the 5 organs of action. Everything is self and self alone. Do you consider it that way? And why we don't consider? Because our knowledge is incomplete. When will the knowledge become complete? When we merge into the divine. When we merge into the divine. See, the beauty is, in yoga, you have heard the word yoga bhrashta, isn't it? You heard yoga bhrashta. Karma bhrashta is also there. But you never get bhakti bhrashta. There's no fall in bhakti. There's no fall in knowledge. No jnana bhrashta bhi koi nahi hota. Only karma bhrashta and yoga bhrashta. See? Just as those in quest of gold do not reject its modification because of its being gold itself, so is the universe, both in its subjective and objective aspects, concluded by such knowers of the Atma to be their very self, inasmuch as it is evolved and interpenetrated by the Atma. So, when in Gita the Lord says, I created the world and I entered the world, isn't it? I created the beings, then I entered into their hearts, and I am controlling every inert and living, sentient and insentient, from inside. What does that mean? That he is the material. If this is the case, then how should we live? How should we live? Then will you take any responsibility? Will you take any, say that it is my duty, no, I have to do this, I have to do that, then I will think of the God. Then will there be question of survival? Will there be any success and failure? Will there be any like and dislike? Will there be joy and sorrow? See, they will express. A realized master also expresses all this, but there is no owner of it. There is no owner of it. They alone who worship you as the indweller of all created beings take no account and set their foot on the head of death, then such a person can, what will you be afraid of? Because you are not afraid of coming and going, because your attention is on the self, on the Lord, who is the substratum, who is everything. Immediately fearlessness. Then such, this time I went, one of the photographs is there, no, when I sent on Shamsang of all the sannyasis who were there, one old lady is there. One old lady is there in that. Her name is Swami Pushpananda. Swami, she studied with us in our batch. Now she's in her 80s. Still does everything herself. She used to take care of Swamiji's garden and everything when he was in the Kaivalya Dham. So I was telling her something, and then she said, I don't think for the next retreat I will be there. And I said, where are you going, Amma? She says, no, I think I will not be there. She knows she is going to go away. So and I said, Nahi, Amma, you will be there. She says, you know or I know? You see? So you have to prepare. When you prepare in this manner, that you know you are going to, this equipment is going to go away, there is no question of fear. There is no question of death, fear of death. You are welcoming it. I am waiting for it. Why haven't you come yet? Because you know now that everything is the self. Knowing the self, you know death as a principle. It's a phenomena. It is not the reality. You are established in the reality. You keep bound, on the other hand, with the word of God in the form of the Vedas, as so many beasts with a rope with the so-called wise to their respective duties. He is fixing others up. Who are these? Om Gananam Tva Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu. Continuously from morning till evening, chanting, listening to Om, chanting Om, studying scriptures, blah, 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 blah. Should we not do that? We should do that. But whatever you do, it's like you got the food in front of you, this is food, oh, this is food. And then you inquire into it. Oh, this is rice in the food. Oh, this is dal. Oh, this is chapati. This is this. अरे साला खा तो लो कि सिर्फ खाने के बारे में बात ही करते रहोगे. Food is like you are only talking about the God, but you are not realizing it. You are not making it your own. So those थोड़े से जो मंद बुद्धि होते हैं उनको भगवान ऐसे फंसा देते हैं सत्संग में. One must in every satsang, whether it is with yourself or with someone or when you are with a text, point should not, our goal should not be that I have to finish the verse. Our goal should be, when we are studying the verse, I must vanish, the one who is studying. Merge so much into it, go into such depth. So here he is saying that you keep those people bound to the word of God. And how do you keep them bound to the word of God? In the form of Vedas, in the form of Upanishads, in the form of various practices. Just like beasts are tied up with a rope, human beings are tied up, those who are, they are tied up with the name of the Lord. And who are these people? You have examples around us. Maybe we are also one of those who listen to scriptures who chant the name of the Lord through the tape recorder. Those who don't chant themselves. Only when you chant yourself is sublimation possible. If you are listening, if you are not chanting the name, only listening through a tape recorder, sublimation is not possible. If you are subjective about it, then it is possible. Otherwise, it is not. Otherwise, just after some time, you will develop. The mind is very, very smart. It will develop an acumen that one part of it will keep listening and हाँ सुन रहा हूँ पीछे जब और इधर सब कुछ it will be involved in everything. Just like beasts are tied with a rope, even the so-called wise to their respective duties. So we come across many people who, because they are unable to rise above body identification, the result being that how can I go beyond duties? I have to, who will do the duties? There is a greater duty. And what is that? To know, to merge into the Lord, to recognize what your essential nature is, that is the highest duty. Then what is this duty? Taking care of. Yesterday I saw one. Have you seen a movie called Samsar? हाँ, कभी देखना. On YouTube it's there. And in that, one Buddhist monk, he has lived his life. From childhood he has been given to the monastery, and under the tutelage of his teacher he has developed very well. He has reached his 20s, and as a final thing, 3 years he has sat in a cave in meditation, and he has gone so deep into himself that when he comes out, he's not even able to stand, he's not able to eat, and they nourish him, bring him back to normalcy. Everything is going fine, and the Rinpoche comes and gives him a diksha that and all the monks from that monastery, they go to a festival, and he goes to, and he's so focused, and he goes to the festival and his eyes fall on a girl, and he's not able to contain himself. He says, and now his argument is, Buddha also experienced samsara only, then he renounced. And from childhood I have been made a renunciate. I have not experienced samsara. I must experience samsara. And that thought will not leave his mind. So he goes back, gets married, starts farming, does this, does that, has a child. And then one day, he's coming back. One day, something happens and something clicks inside of him. And he packs up all his clothes and wears the monk's clothes and is coming back to the monastery. And when he's coming back to the monastery, at the entrance of the monastery, one stone is there, which he has seen many times, and read it also many times. But he has never read it the way he is going to read it now. He sees that just one of the stones on which something is cut, just lying there. It was not even standing, and his eyes fall on it. It says, how can you stop a drop of water from evaporating? How can you stop a drop of water from evaporating? Drop meaning a desire. How can you stop it from evaporating? And he's thinking. And he turns it around. Merge it into the ocean. Then the identity of the drop as a drop will vanish. Now there is no question of evaporation will still continue. No doubt. But the drop, the death is over. See? From that moment on, the moment that he reads it this time, he is absolutely committed to merging into the Buddha. See, how many desires are we going to satisfy in the name of duty, in the name of the dharma? The dharma that we talk about is manav dharma. But the true dharma is to recognize your essence. Indeed, they who have cultivated love for you, O Lord, are the purify themselves as well as others. Not so that they have turned their face away from you. So those who have moved away from the self, they can never be a instrument in the hands of the divine to help the world. Only those who are attentive about the Lord in their heart. It's only attention. Even when we are chanting the name of the Lord, Ram, 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 initially it seems mechanical. It begins as mechanical. But if you know the sequence, Vaikari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Para, your attention is on the essence. You want to go within. Then this will happen. Only when our journey is bhavatmak with feeling, with love. When we have love for the Lord. And how do you know which Lord? Is it the form Lord? Okay, do it that way also, no problem. Or love for the self, not as an individual self, but as that principle which is one without a second. Though devoid of organs, of senses, in your formless aspect, you wield the powers of all the organs, self-dependent as you are, and hence requiring no such instruments. So, the Lord, the Paramatma, the Brahman, the Ishvara, whichever way name you call him, he does not need the organs of perception, organs of action, the Pranamaya Kosh, the Manomaya Kosh, Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankar. He does not need anything in order to express his love, in order to interact, because there is no other for him. These instruments, the Panchakosha, they only come about because of the sense of otherness. But if there is no sense of otherness, I is including everything, or you are imagining that Lord is the material cause of the whole creation and he is also me, inside me, in my heart, then all this edifice that you call as your life, which is based upon body, breath, mind, intellect, it will start crumbling down. This is what happened in Matrix to Neo. The whole matrix broke down. For whom? Not for others. Only for Neo. Only for Neo. Watch those 3 movies. Beautifully depicted. A bit of violence there, but because this truth is self-dependent, it does not need support of. We need support of our mind to remember the Lord. We need the support of. We need the instrument mind to think. If I want to do arti, I need the hand to do the arti. I need the speech to communicate to the Lord. But we never ask the question, if Lord is everything, why do I need communication? We never ask that question. Why do I need to interact with him when he is everything? Am I foolish? This happens when you reach Pashyanti Vani. Just about to reach, when the last thoughts are going to sublimate, that time the question comes. If I am the observer that the mind is chanting or you are contemplating on the self, why am I thinking about myself? I am still, whether the mind thinks or doesn't think. This point comes. But for that, we have to slow down. For that, we have to, whatever practices we do, we have to do it subjectively. As the rulers of subcontinents bear tribute to the suzerain lord of the entire globe, unreservedly enjoy the tribute collected from their own people, so do Brahma and others. Brahma, Indra, various demigods, all of them, uh, uh, as well as other divinities, guardians of the various spheres and those presiding over the 10 Indriyas and mind, etc., united as they are with Maya, which has no beginning, bear tribute to you and gladly partake of the oblations offered by the human beings through the sacrificial fire. So, if Lord alone is that one, on him, he alone has become Brahmaji, he alone has become the Indra, he alone has become the gods of the senses, Chandra, Surya, Varuna, etc., etc. He alone has. So, whom are you offering actually all the oblations to? You are saying Indraya Swaha, but actually who is it going to? To the Paramatma. You are saying Varunaya Swaha, putting the Ahuti. You are taking the name of Varuna, but actually it is going to that one Supreme. So, our attention should not be on Varuna. Mouth may be chanting Varuna, mouth may be chanting Indra, mouth may be chanting Surya, Chandra, but our attention should be on the, पूछना है कुछ? हाँ, यूं करा आपने?
मैं भी आपको
अच्छा, मैं कॉपी कर रही है. So, say that again.
Bhoktaram yadnitapasa sarvalokameshwaram.
हाँ,
Krishna tells that in Gita.
हाँ. That I am the bhokta of all the ahutis. Yes.
And ultimate receiver of it.
He is the receiver. Not ultimately they don't go to him. They go to him alone. Because same thing again, Brahmarpanam Brahmavi. So he alone is offering to himself. So there is nothing else other than or outside of him. But these fellows, just like we have an individuality, all gods have individuality at a subtler level. That's all. And here, afraid of you, they do that work to which they have been appointed by you. Afraid of you, they do that work which they are appointed by you. So what are you appointed to do? I am talking subjectively now. If they don't have a problem doing their work, why you have a problem doing your work? Why you want other person's work? And what is your work? Wherever you find at any given moment, according to nature, where you have been placed, what you have to do, you do. So if you are a brahmachari, you do what is required to be done. If you are, what do you call, kya hai? Grahastha, you do that. Where is the question or doubt? It will automatically express out of you. You don't have to cultivate love for your children. You don't have to cultivate dutiful attitude towards your family. It's automatically there. It will happen. But what happens to us? We get attached to that which is going to happen anyway, and take ownership. That's where the problem is. So here he is saying that all these Brahmas are afraid of you, they do that work which they have been appointed by you. The senses are seeing. None of the senses do each other's job. Karmendriya is hands, legs, etc., etc. Speech also. So hands will not start speaking. No, they will. Ek maryada hai. They live within that maryada. Because of what? Because they are afraid of you. Because you have programmed them that way. This is now come suddenly there. Sometimes he takes us to the absolute level. Next line is suddenly coming back to the relative level. In between he went to the subtle level, which is God's. Where are we?
28.
This is the form of tribute they bear to you. When, O Lord, who are eternally free, the desire to sport with Maya, which has no beginning, appears in you. Who are beyond that Maya, the countless species of mobile and immobile creatures endowed with a subtle body, made up of the latencies of their karmas and brought into existence by your very look, come, come into being. To you who are untainted like the sky and bear resemblance to the void in point of subtleness and are supreme in every respect, none is kindred or alien, so that the disparity among created beings is traceable to the divergence of their karma and not to any partiality in you. Very, very important point, that the differences are not created by the Lord, that differences are created by our mind. So ocean is not saying that I have created the waves. Ocean, in the word ocean, waves are already included. Then who is creating different waves? Us, isn't it? Those who are identified with the body, those who have sense of otherness. So one wave, if it becomes the wave, it will say, she's competing with me. If I'm going fast, it is also going fast. Yeah. That is it. Huh?
Unrealized waves only.
Wave is unrealized only. After realization, wave is not left as wave. There is no realized wave. There is no realized wave. If the wave gets realized, what will be its realization? I am water. I am all that there is, which is water. From water's point of view, there is no ocean and there is no wave. Think of what you say. Okay. So, last week I told you that one reality, which is, the same point is coming, it is eternally free, eternally independent. Who? Paramatma or Brahman. Then all possibilities are possible within it. So, out of the joy of its being, it expresses its potentiality or Maya and joins with it, enters into it without losing itself. What have we done? We have, life enters into this body, isn't it? In the 5th or the 6th month, according to Bhagavat. Life entered. As a child, we were still a witness of this body, breath, mind, intellect. But as we grow up, we get identified with this equipment. And then once we grow up a little bit by grace of God in the teens or in youth or in middle age, suddenly we realize, "Arey yaar, galti ho gayi. I got identified." Now disidentification begins. So we go to satsang. Identification is not possible only, but yet this unseeming identity with this form is seen. Actually, it is a play by the self with the self, because Maya or potentiality is inherent within the reality. So it has not come from somewhere outside. It has come out of reality. The wave has not come out of water. It is the expression of water alone. So it will be of water only. So you mean, same way, the Maya or the creation, the world, Jagat, it is nothing but that one reality alone. Then why so many different beings? Then the answer given here is, it is because of the karma that each being, on account of his or her identification, that it is doing. And one more point was given here, and it was
Asanga, that is.
Just like space, the void. Just void is space. Just like space is unattached to everything or anything in this within its womb, everything is in the space only, isn't it? The whole cosmos is in the space. But you ask the space, where's the cosmos? What will space say? Huh? No.
It doesn't know what
What cosmos
we are
is.
speaking.
Space does not know what cosmos is. Space does not know what cosmos is. Ocean does not know what wave is. It's all included in I. See? And therefore it is told here, just like space, untainted like the sky and bear resemblance to the void and are supreme. It is, it's infinite like the sky, unfathomable like the sky. What? The self or the Lord, whichever way you take it. So nothing can touch space. You can burn, you can dry, everything can go through birth and death. Even the five elements can be created and can be uncreated. But space cannot be created, space cannot be uncreated. It just exists. It just is. It just is. If you can catch this, and this is what, when they take this statement, then if you want to take it a little bit further, so space is what? Akash. Take it as Chidakash, conscious space. Then there is no fall. Don't take it as Chittakash, don't take it as Bhutakash. Chidakash, the conscious space. And what does, how do you get to conscious space? Be attentive to yourself, that's all. Nothing else required to be done. Be conscious, be attentive of the self. Be self-aware in and through every action or no action. Remain aware. And this way, so instead of blaming the Lord for bringing misfortune upon yourself, or what do you call, that other person is so successful, God and he does not do anything. Ravana, he does not pray to God, and he's got a Lanka Nagari which is made up of gold, and I take, imagine if Sudama had to say this, that you gave everything to Lankeshwar, and to me, I am your devotee, continuously chanting your name, and you have made me Daritri. You can't come, there is no comparison. There is no comparison. Everyone is going through in their life what they consider as life only because of their karma. Then what is this birth? For karmaksha. You have to dissolve the karma. And when will the karma dissolve? Not like that, who was that fellow who said 21 sufferings you have to go through, then you will, not that way. How do you dissolve the karma?
By offering everything to Allah.
Correct. Say?
Turning towards it.
Bas. Every night you go to sleep, all your karmas are dissolved, isn't it? Before you go to sleep. But they're temporary. They come back up next day. You want to do it permanently. So you don't try to do something to dissolve the karma. Don't try to do. Just come, be the self, be the self, be the self. Be self-aware. Continuously the theme should be that of the divine. चलो महाराज आगे 30th. अपरिमिता ध्रुवास्तनुभृतो वधि सर्वगता नो सर्वगता हि न शास्यतेति नियमो ध्रुवेतरथा अजनी च यन्मयं तदविच्यनियन्तृभवे सममनुजानतां यदमतं मतदुष्टतया न घटत उद्भव प्रकृति पुरुष रजयो उभययुजा भवन्त सुभृतो जलबुद्बुदवत त्वहित इमे ततो विविधनाम गुणै परमे सरित इवार्णवे मधुनि लिल्युरुषे शरसाः. If the jivas, embodied beings, are held to be infinite in number, everlasting and all pervading, their subordination to another's will cannot be maintained because of their equality with one another as well as with yourself, any more than your control over them, which could be possible only in the opposite case. That is, if they were held to be limited in number, short lived, and finite. So, how many jivas are there in this creation?
86,000 million creations are there.
That
Jiva,
is-
we don't know.
Ah. So when scientists say this creation, the Big Bang was 2 billion years ago, 3 billion years ago, you know how much that time is? It's just an idea, means infinite. It's not a particular date or time, 3 billion years ago. On this day the thing happened. They cannot indicate that. So what does
How many jivas?
how many jivas are there? Infinite, because jiva does not mean only human being. All sentient species, starting from amoeba to Brahmaji, is jiva.
So many variety.
Variety.
एक variety का कितने होंगे
हाँ.
आराम जाने.
And there is infinite variety. It is not 84 लाख लोनी. वो 84 सिर्फ 84 नहीं है. The permutation combination is incalculable. So infinite variety of creation. So do you know, can you at any given time, can you come to know how many are there on this creation, in this world? Like, you know, in New York there is a meter there. It's continuously calculating every second how much debt USA is increasing by. There is a digital, it keeps going every second. I think how many millions of dollars every second they are incurring the debt. The debt is increasing. That's why it's reached 14 trillion or 20 trillion now. And they're calculating. And still they are spending. So like that, can you calculate how many sentient beings are there? Here it is told, infinite. What is the nature of the Lord? Infinite. Infinite is expressing as infinite. Different way of thinking. But at the same time, if you put all the infinite number of finites, they cannot be equal to the infinite. They cannot be. But here our attention should be, if beings are infinite, Lord is infinite, understand they are expressions of that infinite alone. That's where our...
Cannot be two infinite.
They cannot be two infinites. It has to be one. Fantastic. Yes.
Infinite plus
So
one.
there is no so if you have this idea in your head, insubordination or subordination, that there is a Lord there and papo karma hum and all that we say, all that is wrong. You will never see me here say that. From childhood I have never said. Even though I have made many mistakes. But it never. क्योंकि ये अंदर से है कि वही है सब कुछ. तो किसको, whom? He is not above us. He is not from there making us play like a Kathputli, you know what is it? Puppets. Not like that. No. That is a wrong conclusion. That he is there dictating. Ki I will give this fellow joy, I will give this fellow sorrow, if this fellow a mixture of this 20%, 21% this and नहीं यार नहीं 21%, I think that is a bit too much calculation. Not like that. So there is no hierarchy within reality. This is what the attention is being brought to. So you may see what you see, Brahmaji, Indra, various Dig Devatas. There is hierarchy, isn't it? Then even in our human society we see hierarchy, isn't it? We have created. We are, even though the Vedas say Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra are equal, but we have created hierarchy. That Brahman is intelligent and Shudra is useless. But society cannot function without each other. All of them are equal. See? So when we put attention on this as a principle, then we will not consider the Lord as someone great, to whom we should be a slave, to whom we are subordinate. No, here they are telling that you are also of the nature of that divine alone. Don't consider. See, if we say that, we don't come to this wrong conclusion also, that this body is divine. So what's the problem in living body identified? Body is divine. Identification is not talked about.
Good point.
World, how you are. So all forms in this creation, like all ornaments are made out of gold alone, all waves are made out of water alone. Similarly, all forms in this creation, that's what cosmos is for us, isn't it? Are made out of the divine alone. Then how will the divine look at all the forms?
As his own expression, as his own self.
He will not look at them because he is them. See, maja. He will not look at them. We are looking at them as separate to each other. But from his point of view, I am it. That statement also will not be there. He does not see them as separate. इसके बारे में थोड़ा सा चिंतन करोगे, you will not sleep all night. You will be in bliss. These are the things to contemplate. If they were held to be limited in number, short-lived and finite, O eternal Lord, that Brahma alone could be the ruler of the jivas. So Brahmaji we can say, when we create hierarchy, that is within the relative. Actually speaking, there is no hierarchy from the absolute standpoint. As whose evolute it is more, it has come into being, and which is inseparable from it as its material cause, and is equally present in all, nay, which is practically unknown to those who claim to know it, since whatever comes to be known is known imperfectly only. How beautiful. That Keno Upanishad says that those who know don't know it, and those who don't know it know it. Some te vidita dadhi avidita dadhi. That's how something in that in Keno Upanishad. So here it is told that Brahmaji as whose evolute it has come into being, and which is inseparable from it. So here now you see one important thing. They are not talking about individuals. They are talking about Brahmaji. Brahmaji is when we say Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, that Ahankar is Brahmaji. Just like, who will be the Ahankar for all the organs in me, in this body? It will be me, isn't it? So there's one, and from the scriptural point of view, there is only one. It's a phenomena. There are not many. In the 5 different paths which were told, philosophies, there also it was told, there is not one ego per person, one jiva per person. No, there is only one jiva. Who is that jiva? Brahmaji. That one jiva is Brahmaji. And he is not other than, when in Mundaka Upanishad comes those Suparna, so those two birds, they are not separate. It is that Ishvara and Brahma, the creator. the Jiva. Who is this Jiva? Who's got identified with the creation. And who is what do you call?
Witness.
Who, and,
One
who,
is the witness.
and who is the Ishvara or the Paramatma? The one who is unidentified. He alone is. So here it is told that if Brahmaji says, and this is the story proving it, when Brahmaji and Vishnu Bhagavan went to Shiva and they argued that wanted to see, Brahmaji told lies, no? Vishnu went down, Brahmaji went up. Vishnu came back, he says, no, I can't find the bottom of this column of light. Brahmaji told lies. He said, yeah, I reached up and came back.
Flower, I think.
And flower.
Some
Flower,
pushpa
yes,
was there.
they use a flower as a
Yeah, as a if intellect says, I know, that is what is told here. In the 30th verse, it says, Ajani cha yanmayam tad vimuchya nyantru bhavet samam anujanatam yad matam mad drushtataya. If you say you know, you don't know.
You don't know. Yeah, really don't.
If you say you know, you don't know.
Person doesn't know.
But then realized masters say I know. But realized masters don't come under the purview of the scriptures. They can do what they want. This is the difference. Scriptures also cannot dictate what a realized master should say, should not say, do, what should he not do. No, they don't. They say, they take one step back. Because what they are talking about, what they are indicating, this fellow has come to realize it. Therefore, they take one step back. Since whatever comes to be known is unknown, is known imperfectly only, meaning anything that is known through intellect is imperfect alone. So, if you know the self as self through thought, it is imperfect. It is imperfect. If you know God, so therefore, see how beautiful the whole thing is. Vaikhari, thought. Madhyama, subtle thought. Pashyanti, no thought. That means Pashyanti is absence of gross and subtle thought. Para, beyond thought and no thought.
Pashyanti is still perception, isn't it?
But perception of absence of gross thought and subtle thought. So gross thought is at the speech level, subtle thought is at the mind level. Pashyanti is absence of both, waking and dream. Gross is waking, mental is a dream. Absence of both is deep sleep. So Pashyanti is absence of the two. And para is beyond these two, presence and absence. It's magical. When you start connecting, it starts getting connected. So if you know, pagal nahi, you go into meditation. Mind cannot handle it. So if its direction is subjective and it is thinking in this manner, it will come to a standstill. The moment it stands still, that which was already there will reveal. It reveal means it's already there. It's like the mind with the thoughts is like the clouds. The clouds go away, the sun is already there.
So it's self-recognition, not realization.
Yes, self-abidance. Self-knowing self. Self-being self. But self-being self is equal to self-knowing self. But this knowing is without a thought. Vritti rahit. Simple. If you say do that, you are creating a program into yourself. Man, this is too much. But look at it. Take one more example, and then we move on. Do you need to think in order to be? That's what we are talking about. Simple. Now, the without doing this, the answer came no. This statement is told in these many words because हम थोड़े बुद्धू हैं इसलिए वही चीज. So to be, you don't need to think. And when you are thinking and your attention is on thinking, you are not being. A realized master, he speaks also, he thinks, thinking is happening, talking is happening, movement is happening, but being is not getting corrupted. Because his attention is, all that there is I alone. This is the difference. The birth coming into being at a particular point of time of Prakriti or of Purusha, spirit, does not stand to reason, inasmuch as both of them are declared in the scriptures as birthless or without beginning. What is this creation? An interaction between Purusha and Prakriti. What is that? From a devotional level, Ishwara and Prakriti, they came together. Purusha, that is Purusha and Prakriti. Ishwara and Maya. And what is the nature of Purusha? Beginningless. What is the nature of Maya?
Also beginning.
Anadi. So when did this relationship begin? Anadi. Beginningless. See?
But from this point of view, this world is real.
Which point of view?
When we have this vision, then this world is real.
But there is no problem. That Paramatma is, when he is expressing as Purusha and Prakriti, he has got no doubt that this Prakriti is I only.
There is a perception of reality of the illusion. It is only illusion. There is a perception of reality through the senses and mind, etc. etc. Otherwise, if the whole thing is illusion, there is only one existence, which is Paramatma.
When we say Prakriti and Purusha are Anadi, and that this manifested world is a Prakriti.
See, now to take complete your thought.
What I am saying is, there are two arguments: that world is real, world is unreal. These are the main two schools of thought that we see.
School of thought.
They say world is real, world is unreal. But later in the Uddhav Gita, one very funny statement also will come, and the Lord will say, at that time, our Lord will say, Lord, this world is real and also unreal.
Yes.
And at the same time, that also he will say. That is more confusing. So, but from this point of view and what we saw before.
See, understand one thing. Understand one thing. This is the secret. This is the secret. That Lord, whenever he speaks in funny language. He speaks in contradictory language. He speaks, one moment he will take absolute standpoint, next moment he will take a very jiva standpoint. And you need to work out which standpoint he is taking. And that you can understand which standpoint he is taking only when you start thinking like him. Not thinking like a man. You have to start thinking like him. So when he is saying Purusha and Prakriti, can Krishna appear as Krishna without? So does Krishna know that he is Paramatma? Yes. Has he appeared? Has he manifested through his own potentiality as a Purna avatar? Yes. He knows it. Can you ever come to know what he knows? Never. Because you are still an individual. Understand? So we can argue, we can discuss, but we can never understand what is the take of Krishna when he is taking an avatar, which is a Purna avatar, and what is his take of this whole world, of Duryodhana, of this, and it must be a complete knowledge. Then only he can give Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? If it was only even little bit less, he could not have spoken the way he spoke. And even in Gita, so many places, sometimes he's taking the absolute standpoint, sometimes he's taking the standpoint of being the Lord, sometimes he's taking the standpoint of being the friend of Krishna, Arjuna. Sometimes he's taking the position of being the son of Devaki or a lover of Yashoda, and we get lost in all these, but we can never work out in our. That is what is being told here, that those who say they know, they don't know. Because this knowledge is beyond thought. Which knowledge? Knowledge of Krishna. So you can use the word Krishna, that is not equal to knowing Krishna. It's only a conceptual Krishna that you know. Now go one more step. We are seeing the phenomena. We are seeing the phenomena. Is phenomena temporary?
Yes.
No. Yeah. On one level,
Depends on point of view.
one level temporary because it's coming and going. But is it anadi?
Yes.
Yes. So if it is anadi, Lord, consciousness is also anadi, prakriti is also anadi, phenomena. So can phenomena happen without phenomena of sunrise and sunset? Can it happen without sun? सुनो पहले complete thought कर लेने दो. Can the phenomena of sunrise and sunset happen without sun? Does sun come and go? But yet the phenomena is continuing. Exactly the same way. Ishwar doesn't come and go, yet the phenomena of Purusha and Prakriti continues. This phenomena cannot be stopped. This phenomena cannot be stopped. But now don't consider I am the Purusha, wife is Prakriti. Then you are going the wrong way. You have to take matter in its completeness and consciousness as the life throbbing within you. That you have to take. Then you will understand. Then you will not try to realize after death. When your attention is on that conscious principle, then you will not fight with anything. Then you will not try to run away from this world. You will not try to run away from your duties, responsibilities. Everything will be going on. So sun does not say, oh, I need to know myself. First the sunrise and sunset have to go. No, he doesn't say that. He continues to be. So you continue to be. And when you look at your life, even at this moment, so many different examples are given. A simple example that you don't come and go, you are the illuminator like the sun, is waker comes and goes. Waker is consciousness, waking world is matter, Purusha Prakriti, isn't it? Dreamer is Purusha, the expression of the eternal Purusha, and the dream world is the Prakriti. Deep sleeper is the Purusha, and the absence of the waker and the swapna, that is the Prakriti, avyakta. It's avyakta. So, but who knows this? That is the unchanging principle. So allow the phenomena. Can you stop waking, dreaming and deep sleep from coming and from not happening tomorrow or tonight? Something will happen. Either you will remain all night awake, or your mind will become absolutely zero and you are still awake, or you will dream, or you will be disturbed. Some phenomena will continue. But to become the phenomena is the arrival of misery. Remain undisturbed in and through everything. And that is what scriptures keep saying, remain self-aware. So here teacher is telling, Sanandan is telling that this Purusha Prakriti phenomena, it will continue. It happens for a realized master also. He also sleeps, he also wakes up, he also goes for a loo, he also feels hungry. So phenomena is happening. He does not run away from the phenomena, he does not run towards the phenomena, because he is not giving value to the phenomena. he is attentive to the self. And as first the attention towards the self becomes evident in the Anahat Chakra, and this, as you remain self aware, अरे यार मेरे को तो पता ही नहीं था कि I am other than the body, and you get clicked. It happens here when you are between Vaikharya and Madhyama and Pashyanti. It clicks. And when it clicks, now the thing is, I want to know, I want to be, and you will keep falling down, but you will keep coming back. And as you keep meditating and remaining self-aware again and again and again, eventually you come to your Vishuddhi. And Vishuddhi is, you know yourself as conscious principle without a doubt. You don't need to think. Nirvikalpa Samadhi is where all thoughts have become sublimated. You don't need to think that you are, but you are. Now the question is, after I come out of Samadhi, the world is still real. Now how do I make this Samadhi an 24/7 experience? For that, what is the world? The five senses is what is the world, isn't it, for us? So now, from Vishuddhi till Agya Chakra is how to convert what you are seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting into that I. Into that I. So when you come to this point, Agya Chakra, Purusha Prakriti in its nascent form. So what is, just like Ishvara and Maya. Maya has not multiplied yet. So when you are here, Ishvara and Prakriti, Purusha and Prakriti, they are there. You will be in meditation, Prakriti is there or not there, it has not manifested yet. See? And Paramashiva is beyond that. So you go beyond the phenomena of Purusha and Prakriti also. You are that eternal principle who is expressing as the phenomena of Purusha and Prakriti. Who? Yourself. So it's not that now I am Purusha, now I am Prakriti. No. It is happening all the time. You cannot cut that out and then come to know. All this process is continuously taking place at micro and macro level. But you have to recognize what is Bhagavan, what is Brahman, what is Paramatma, the one beyond phenomena. The one beyond phenomena. And that is your essential nature. That is Bhagavan. That is Paramatma. So does that mean if I come to know there is nothing will happen? At this level, at a relative level, the Purusha Prakriti game is continuing. It will not stop. For whom? For those who are watching. For him, it's all. He looks out there, but when he is looking out, he is not looking at something other. He is looking at himself. कैसे हो सकता है? Get there and find out and tell me also. I can only talk about it.
Just like we are watching our hand, I'm not seeing something different. When I say I or when I say it is the... Good.
In your earlier question, I believe both those thought processes are incomplete.
That's what I wanted.
Incomplete, because the whole scripture talks about what it is not. Nowhere does it what it is. It is not. It is not there.
In Bhakti Shastra, what it is no. All scriptures don't talk about what it is not. It's a twofold process. First, it is what it is not, so that you come to know yourself, and then it is how this self is everything. The world is your senses, isn't it? So how to convert, how this I is not only you, how this I is all that there is.
It's not a Prakriti eye.
Huh?
Not a Prakriti eye.
It's not a Prakriti I. But in meditation, in Samadhi, you have come to access it. You are being it. But the moment you come out, you have lost it.
Back to the senses.
because the world impact is still, you're still in the phenomena. So naturally the next question that will come is, how can I,
Constantly being.
how can the bliss that I was experiencing in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, how can I experience that same bliss even while functioning in this? Where is my take wrong of this world? And then Vedanta comes into life. When this point comes and tickles you from inside, then Vedanta comes into your life. Or Anvaya Sadhana, or Bhakti Sadhana. How Lord is all inclusive. How self is all inclusive. So now it is not Yoga Sadhana, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Now it is Om Sahasra Shirsha Purusha. Anyway, chalo, good contemplation. Then he says, now where are we? Living beings on the other hand come into existence when the two, Prakriti and Purusha, matter and spirit, come to be united, mistaken for one another, just as bubbles appear on the surface of water through the interaction of air and water. Understand one thing again, what you see as phenomena where Purusha and Prakriti is coming together, Purusha and Prakriti can never come together. Can never come together. They are as far apart as sunrise and sunset. They are as far as apart as sunrise and sunset. They are as far apart as thinking of the self and being the self. They can never come together because they are absolutely of opposite nature. Not from the absolute standpoint we are talking about, because from there phenomena is not there. We are talking from where we are right now. This information is being given so that you stop working it out. Purusha and Prakriti can never come together. But what you are seeing, they are coming together. What am I? Purusha and Prakriti both married together is called a human being, isn't it? But is it possible? This question is being asked. Not illusion, incomplete. Because we think body is matter, breath is matter, panchakoshas are matter, and life is consciousness. But what did we just talk about before? That consciousness or the truth alone became consciousness and matter, isn't it? From that, so the teacher is bringing us again and again to that absolute standpoint from where everything is nothing but divine. And then he is coming down to this level where he is saying here that just like it's like bubbles of water coming up and then dying away. So here, what did he say? Bubbles appear on the surface of water through interaction of air and water. Since the birth of the jivas in this way is only apparent and not real. Apparent. That's why this word in our scriptures is very important. As if the Brahman, as if desired, as if invoked its own potentiality. The moment he invoked his potentiality, he is no longer called Brahman. He is called Ishwar and Prakriti, or Ishwar and Maya. It's as if. So the whole thing is based only on assumption. And assumption is not reality. The reality is not an assumption. Suddenly you are told, it's not an assumption. You are not an assumption. Because your experience about yourself is without any assumption, in spite of assumptions.
There is this verse is saying not to discriminate. Whereas if we do not discriminate, we cannot operate in the material world. So where is the subtle difference?
Say that again.
This is saying not to discriminate.
Whereas
to operate in the material world, you have to discriminate. Without discrimination, there is no day, night,
This is the reality of an individual who is attached to the world. There is a higher way of living. Why you have to go to God? Even those people who have some siddhis, they operate at a higher level, at a subtler level. You see, they are not functioning at our level, where only if I eat then I will be satisfied. Lahiri Mahasaya, you have read biography of Lahiri. So he was sitting in his room. He told his boss was complaining, his wife this that he was not functioning properly. He said, "Don't worry, I'll tell you the news about your wife." That night, Lahiri Mahasaya came out of the body, went to England, told her and touched her, healed her, and came back. 1 month later, the letter from the wife came. Someone came and no, she said, "I'm well, now I'm able to travel to India." And she came. And when she came to visit him in the office, she saw Lahiri Mahasaya there. This fellow came to me when I was sick. Now, this is as fantastic it may be, so beautiful to listen, but it is not your reality. It is not your reality. Your thinking will be only when you go to the doctor, only when I go from India to England, then I will take my wife to the doctor and he will, I don't know, to the specialist. After I spend money, then she will get better. So, this higher level of functioning in world, that is still world, isn't it? So this higher way of functioning in world is possible when you give up your obsession with this world. It is possible. People who read auras, people who are clairvoyant, people who can heal by touch. Today, modern doctors are not even accepting that the Philippine healers, only with their fingers they can do the whole operation. Without any instruments, only using fingers. Without any medicine, they will make that area numb by pressing the points and then break the skin, enter into it. With their fingers, they do the whole operation. Check on YouTube. They are called faith healers. Now, to these people, because our way of assessing the world is through the Western thinking right now. To the Western thinking, the way materialistic thinking, I'm not saying allopathic, through material. Material is real. But faith healer, he knows material is there, but he's accessing some higher ability within himself to do that. And you tell these great cancer doctors or those who are in the Peter MacCallum Institute and all, you tell them this, they will just quack. So till you are caught up in the world, you are not available to the subtler level of functioning. And once you are at the subtle level, then the gross becomes inconsequent, unimportant, because you are at a different level now. And imagine now, God, which is beyond subtle, beyond is the causal. God is causal. Or if we take God as the eternal principle, it is the absolute. What it would be like? Think, Siddhi, when we were studying, you, me, all of us, that time it was a big struggle. What jobs we used to do in order to pay the university fees. Today, it's a different matter. It's a siddhi that you have. You don't have to think from where the next meal is coming. You don't have to think from where the next, if I want to change the tire of the car, if it has punctured, oh my God, 2 weeks job, income gone. You don't think that way, isn't it? It's a siddhi. Many people are still stuck where you were 40 years ago, 30 years ago. So you have come up, every one of us come up. What is that? Your capacity has, potentiality has expressed itself. Imagine, this is only at physical level and you are already, you can get, travel, speak wherever. World is at your fingertips. Imagine further. This is only in gross world. Imagine the subtle, where you think and things happen. That is another frontier. And then the next,
Secret.
that thinking or no thinking, wishing or no wishing, allowing everything to happen. We have moved away from the topic, but Purusha Prakriti is a phenomena, and really speaking, Purusha and Prakriti can never come together, but they are as if coming together, and you cannot stop this. If you think of Purusha and Prakriti as two different, and if you inquire into it, they cannot come together. But your experience is they have come together. Why they seem to have come together? Because they are my own. We have to take it like that. That one alone is expressing as Purusha and Prakriti, and giving you an illusion of uh, of of one, giving you an illusion of one which is made up of two. Be careful what you are saying. Purusha and Prakriti are two, but you think you are one, isn't it?
That is the point you are trying to make.
Some it is like a North Pole and South Pole. They are
No,
with
the
the
point I was trying to make was
It is like sky and earth meeting. They look
As if they are meeting, but they can never meet.
alright.
It seems.
Very good, Shilpam.
And I was not understanding.
खाने के लिए क्या लाइए?
आज मैं बनाया.
Anyway, let's not move away from the point. Tell what you were saying.
What I was, the point I was trying to make is the argument that goes on that this world is real, is all futile.
It's futile. Our attention.
And further you have to refer verse number 27 where it says
correct, right?
those who are devoted
Waste of time.
To the Lord. Those who are devoted to the Lord.
Yeah. Whether you take this world as real or unreal, you have to turn towards Him.
Huh.
There is no other
No.
other way. Whether
And
this world is
and
real
the
or
only way.
You
And
want to say that is the only reality.
yes, yes.
Whether it is real or not, that's
yeah,
only
real,
reality.
real or unreal.
Only reality is the Lord or the Paramatma.
that
And
is
you
physical
can,
or something.
if you inquire into the phenomena, you will never understand the phenomena.
Ah.
You have to go beyond phenomena to understand the phenomena.
And it can't be done with the mind.
Huh?
And it cannot be done with the mind.
You can appreciate going beyond the phenomena. When I give you an example, take the sun, which is beyond sunrise and sunset, you can understand that concept. But when it is to be made subjective, then what do I go beyond?
That the sun is not raising, the earth is turning.
You know, no, you're again going unnecessarily, you're expanding it.
Okay.
The phenomena is sunrise and sunset, consciousness and matter. If we take it as consciousness matter, from sun's point of view, it doesn't matter. It's not in its reality. But without it, it cannot happen.
Correct?
Right? Same way, when we take the position of the sun being the absolute principle,
So it is
or we are merged into the divine,
then nothing matters.
then this consciousness matter जो इतना deliberation हम कर रहे हैं, इसकी कोई जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी. There will be no need to for all this dialogue.
Can't be comprehended by mind.
Yes, and why? And our problem is we are so much in our mind and intellect that we are talking, but the solution is be the divine, be self-aware, be surrendered to the Lord. Only He can give you understanding of this. And this we are reading this here, somewhere else again exactly opposite will be told. फिर फंस गए. So how do you how does it become everything becomes clear in front of you? Only by taking the position, only by taking the unchanging position,
Anything that is mentioned has got a
context to which
and
Correct.
to whom it is addressed also.
exactly.
matters.
And that's why every now and then he's going up and down, sometimes absolute, sometimes individual, sometimes Brahmaji. So you have to take it in that spirit.
Because there is a questioner and there is a person answering it. That is the context. In every,
No.
In every circumstance, Bhagavad, there is a person asking a question and one responding to it. And there is context behind that. So depending on the context, it changes on the viewpoint.
So the questioner was Parikshit, who is ignorant. Sanat Sananandan, Sanat Kumaras are not ignorant. They are doing time pass. They are doing time pass. If you talk about context, then it's totally different context. And through that higher dialogue between Sanat Kumaras who are already surrendered to the Lord, Parikshit, who is still ignorant, is being educated. So you have to then take all the contexts that are coming in that big,
So they are telling Parikshit, it doesn't matter, man. Soon you'll know what we know. It doesn't matter, basically.
Only if you put attention, otherwise no. Even though you already are, but you have to put attention on the divine theme. You have to be aware of the divine theme in spite of whatever activity is going on.
So Swami, what is divinity then?
That is that which cannot be removed. So everything in you, body is changing, breath is changing, thoughts are changing, emotions are changing, concepts are changing, thoughts are changing, but are you changing? So if you are not, but this is abstract, but this is abstract, because many people are unable to, yes, I am not changing, it's a concept, I am not changing, I know I've been present in spite of all the changes, but they are unable to become subjective about it. To such people, then the introduction of Lord is given, that take the support of the Lord and you will reach the same point of the abstract. And initially if you want the form, no problem. Initially you want the form, because point is, right now you are not able to focus. You don't know how to focus on something without a form. So when I say self, कौन सा self, कैसा self, कहाँ पे है? Because we don't know how to think about something without a form. And that is also not true. Because space we know it doesn't have a form. Mind we know it is there, even though it has got no form. But with the self, suddenly our intellect comes in, no, I need some support. I need support. Chal bhai, Bhagwan le le.
Sense organs के लिए कुछ
Because you have decided that way.
That's what it is. Yeah.
But your experience of life is different, that you know various things, mind and space, which has no form, yet you know of their existence, isn't it? You don't see your eyes, but you know they are there. Then why is it so difficult that you don't see yourself? Why can't you come to this conclusion that yes, I am there? Without any... So ये सोचने वाली चीज़ें हैं. रात की नींद गई सबकी. Anyway, he says, since the birth of the jivas in this way is only apparent and not real, that is why they get merged in you, the final cause, with all their several names and attributes in the state of liberation. Even as rivers disappear into the sea, or during dreamless sleep, just as all kinds of nectars of flowers get dissolved into what is ultimately known by the name of honey. Simple examples. These things have happened to you also. Dreamless sleep, has it happened?
Every day. Dreamless sleep, put that down.
Go to sleep.
5 seconds morning, no dream.
And you are awake.
I'm gone.
No, so when they are saying dreamless, यहाँ पे word ये use किया ना, that during dreamless sleep. So which means you know, you are aware, you are awake, but you know the mind is not working. No dream. Mate pranam. Huh? For that, when that happens in modern society, in today's society, people go to doctor, I am not able to sleep, and they take sleeping pills and create a problem for themselves. Actually, it is a very healthy condition.
They are worrying too much because they don't have sleep. Actually,
There's no
physically
problem.
there is no problem.
Mentally also no problem. Because of their expectation that they need to sleep in order to be fresh next morning. If you are having 4 or 5 days of dreamless sleep, you have not slept and you are awake and you are still functioning, then what's the problem? Continue, yaar. Why you have to go to doctor? It's the most healthy thing. How did Arjuna remain Gudakesh? How did Lakshmana for 14 years did not sleep and yet functioned at his optimum with alertness? This happens to all of us. Every few days it happens to us. For some it happens regularly, some happens less regularly.
So this is not.
But don't take it as a disease.
So this is not a disturbed mind that
No.
not sleep. It is you are sleeping, but you are aware that you are.
You
not.
are aware.
Oh, Swami, that's
But these doctors don't know what awareness is. That is the problem. Doctors know it only as a condition of not sleep because they don't know what consciousness
That's
is.
what science does.
Huh?
That is what science taught them.
Bas.
Condition their mind.
Huh?
Khatam ho gaya.
Bas. So it's a healthy condition if your approach to it is healthy. But if your approach to it is negative, then it will become a problem because you will keep
Manufacture the body.
you're creating कि यार नींद नहीं आई, I should be tired, नींद नहीं आई, I should be tired, नींद नहीं आई, I should be tired, something is going on, something is going on, something is going, it will go wrong because you are thinking so intensely about it. But if sleep is not coming and you are awake, fantastic. Only we'll finish. What's the time?
8:30.
We'll conclude. So 32nd verse we have to begin.
First.
31st.
31st.
No, we'll chant it. We'll do it next week. Already 8:30. Even as rivers disappear into the sea, or just as all kinds of nectars of flowers get dissolved into what is ultimately known by the name of honey. So river has to give up its identity once it gets merged into the ocean. Similarly, where does the phenomena of waker, dreamer, sleeper merge back into the self? So they come. It's like where do the father, son, and brother or husband, where do they come out of you? Where are they there? No. But do you behave as them? Yes. And when you look at your mother, suddenly where has the husband gone? Where did it come from? I was only the husband. Now where has the husband gone when you are becoming the son? No. No answer. Where it came from, there only. Where? If there is a movement there of manifestation and unmanifestation, I only became, on account of that, I only became the husband. Now I am only becoming the son. So is that called merging back of the husband, or is it called the manifestation of the son? Both are phenomena. It doesn't really matter. Both are phenomena. So appearance of phenomena and mergence of phenomena back into its source, it does not matter. It will go on. Let it happen. You can never behave as a as a son to your wife. Very difficult. Something drastic has to happen inside you in order to become son to your wife, isn't it? In your head. That example was going to come to me because he developed breasts and tail when he thought of Hanumanji and Radha. Sorry, Radha and Hanumanji, not the other way around. So something has to shift. You have to go beyond. And that is what is. So you stop being whom you consider yourself to be right now. That has to be dissolved in order for something new to appear. So husband has to dissolve in order for son to appear. How much time it takes? Instantaneous. Why is it taking so long for individuality to dissolve and eternity to express? Why? It's ever. Your nature is eternal. Then why is it taking so long? Because we have taken the phenomena to be real.
So reminding us muhur muhur.
Muhur muhur, muhur muhur. Again and again on the divine theme, on the unchanging principle. And if you are thinking of the Lord, it should not be an image. It should be a moving person. The Lord must be a living personality with whom you are having interaction in your mind. It should not be a picture. It should not be a statue. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. This chapter is the essence of all the scriptures. Essence. Just like our Aparokshanubhuti. So we are taking it, deliberating on it.
Radhe Radhe Radhe